Hello, puzzlers! I thought today we could start with a quick introductory puzzle. This mini puzzle is in honor of our guest, the legendary John Hodgman, author, podcaster, internet-accredited judge. If you Google John, and you should Google him, he's very interesting, please remember that his last name is spelled Hodgman. No E. No E after the Hodge. The G abuts the M. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 other true facts about John Hodgman, and my challenge is there anything you notice about these 3 facts? Any interesting connections? And they are all true facts. John is a bit of an enigma. John is a great wingman. When John coughs, he rarely expels phlegm. So an enigma, a wingman, and phlegm. Is there any connection to among these facts, and maybe a connection to John himself, aside from that they're all true? Something to think about. In the meantime, we're going to go to some messages because we are doing our part to contribute to capitalism and to our country. As you know, they're often intertwined. The old saying, what's good for GM is good for America. Be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to the Hello Puzzlers podcast, the separation of powers in your functioning puzzle democracy. I am your host, AJ Jacobs, and I'm here, of course, with Chief Puzzle Officer Craig Pliska.
I'm glad we have a functioning democracy somewhere.
Well,
just happy to hear that.
In the puzzle world.
Here we
That's
go.
right. We do have separation of power. Me, you, John.
Yeah.
Before the break, I gave 3 true facts about John Hodgman, and my challenge was, did you notice anything interesting about these facts, aside from that they are true? John is a bit of an enigma. He makes a great wingman. If you go out to a bar, rarely expels phlegm. An enigma, a wingman, no phlegm.
I need to step in here and say that the third one is not true at all. I have a lot of phlegm.
He is quite phlegmatic, actually, I think.
And I am phlegmatic. That would be true, but yes.
All right, thank
you. Phlegm
is
part of my life.
Factual, yes. All right, noted.
I have a couple things to add, AJ.
Yes, please.
He often dresses like a smog monster.
A smog monster. Interesting.
I wish that he would sing more.
Yes.
And in the Navy, he was a frogman.
That one I didn't know.
Well, I don't know if any of mine are true. Yours might be true. I may have made mine up. But they all feature the same thing, which is the letter G and M next to each other.
That's it. But there's another twist.
Just as in Hodgman. GM, right. GM, yeah.
They are all different pronunciations of the letter GM. So you've got GM, of course, the enigma is gma. Wingman is gma. Phlegm is just
the G is silent, right?
Hodgman is jma. I mean, it is great. It's more proof of the insanity of the English language. I find it a little infuriating and delightful at the same time. I'm very torn.
It's kind of like John Hodgman.
What's funny is that my nickname is Jma. Many people are like, oh, here comes Jma.
Yeah, that old Jma. Short for Jamoke, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Jma as in judgment, as in Judge John Hodgman.
Another no E. And there you go. Well, John Hodgman, with or without a G, we would still be delighted to have you. For those who don't know, John is an author, an actor, host of the Judge John Hodgman podcast. Awesome. We love it.
Thank you.
He presides over important disputes, such as the dispute over who should be allowed to place the last jigsaw puzzle piece. So sometimes they are puzzle-related disputes.
That's right.
And you have saved many marriages and friends and
Wait,
jobs.
I missed this one. What's the conclusion, John? Who should be allowed?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I rarely remember.
All right, we have lots more to discuss. We have a Q&A section, and I wanted to tackle important issues like this, but we do have a puzzle for you. The first puzzle is actually a little related to the intro puzzle because it's about finding connections. And it's actually a cousin of the New York Times Connections puzzle.
Oh, it sounds exactly like connections.
Well,
because you use the term connections.
Linkages.
Okay, stickler.
I'm also a columnist for the New York Times Magazine.
Oh, there you go.
Where Judge John Hodgman appears every Sunday, as well as a little tiny columnette. So I am a little defensive, but go on.
All right. Well, there was a show that had connections before connections, but
The Love Connection.
That one too. Yes. Yes.
well done. This is not exactly like connections because it's an audio connections. It is all about your ears. I am going to play audio clips, 3 audio clips, and then you will be encouraged to find the connection between them. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, so there's an example of one. Those are all songs, but they share a little theme.
I'm very embarrassed that I could not recognize the third song, so I might not be able to make the connection.
You still might. I bet you can still.
Well, there are 2. Yes, all you need is 2. But this one, since it's an example, I will give it to you. One is Hotel California.
Well, now that one I know.
Okay.
The other one is Sweet Home Alabama, but what was the third song?
Well, you got the, I think you're seeing.
They're different songs, but they're all about places. Is that what
They're
is
all
that
about
the connection?
states
That's
of New York.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, I also co-host a podcast called E Pluribus Motto, which is a trivia podcast about the mottos of the states, as well as state mammals, state snacks, state monsters, and more.
How have I missed this? Okay, hold on.
I know. Can we talk about that in the Q&A?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I do have a trivia question. How many podcasts do you host? Because I don't think I know. Does anyone know?
Judge John Hodgman is the main one, and then Janet Varney and I have been having some fun recounting state mottos and mascots to each other for a while.
I just subscribed.
All right.
Thank you. E Pluribus
come
Motto,
on, that's
called.
right. I'm going to love this.
Yeah.
All right. That was, as I say, a starter. This is the real one. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
I've got it. I think.
Tell me.
The first clip was from the Henry Mancini composition, the theme from the Pink Panther.
Very good.
Bonus points.
The second is the classic American folk song "A Weem Away," which was adapted later with additional lyrics, including "The Lion Sleeps Tonight."
Exactly.
And the third was Foreigner's "Eye of the Tiger" from the Rocky III soundtrack.
That is it. So
and I don't know. I have no idea what connects them. I don't know what could possibly connect a song about a tiger.
Isn't that Survivor rather than Foreigner? I have the tiger.
Oh, I think you're right. I know you're absolutely right. Survivor. Yeah.
But you got the right. That was just.
They're all animals.
Yeah,
well done.
They are.
Well done.
They're all animals.
They're
all large cats.
Large cats. That's it. Right. That is
very
it.
Good.
And I thought
very good,
that was
John.
in honor of you. I know you're a cat owner.
And my many apologies to Foreigner.
Yeah.
And Survivor.
And Survivor.
They are both listening.
Kind of the same band, really.
And by the way, just Lola the Dum Dum Cat, I know. Is that the correct name of your cat?
Lolo the Dum Dum Cat.
Lolo.
Thank you for remembering. Yes.
And just
Still
give
dumb.
me one piece of evidence. I've never heard evidence of why that she is actually dumb.
Well, the piece of evidence I must have mentioned last time we spoke about Lolo the Dum Dum Cat is the only cat I've ever observed sitting underneath a coffee table while standing up hits her head because she's not aware of the world around her in any way.
Oh, is it a glass coffee table or is it?
It was an opaque coffee table.
Okay. Glass, I feel, would be a little more excusable.
You don't see cats clunking their heads against stuff very often.
No.
Unless they're purposely bopping you for pets. But in this case, Lolo is just a wonderful dummy who just stares into the middle distance most of the time.
Nice. But you're a fan. I know you're a fan.
I'm a big fan. I like her a lot.
All right, I got another one for you.
Okay, I want it.
All right.
Éclaircissement. E-C-L-A-I-R-C-I-S-S-E-M-E-N-T. Éclaircissement.
That is correct.
Anything come to mind, Mr. Judge John Hodgman?
Well, That was someone spelling a word in what I presume was the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Correct.
The second was
true.
the sound of swarming bees, I presume.
You presume correctly?
And the third was the song Wet by
Thank you.
Foreigner featuring Cardi B.
You know your music.
Oh,
That is absolutely correct.
it's all
Foreigner.
bees.
So
They're all
prolific.
bees.
Foreigner.
They are all bees. I love it. By
That
the way,
was actually, John, that was actually Foreigner doing the spelling bee.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mistake.
You didn't realize they were
Yeah, I
champions.
should have figured that one out.
I would also like to thank you because from your great podcast, John Hodgman, I discovered the bee lady, Erica Thompson, who does
yeah.
insane TikTok videos of, I don't understand.
She's the one down in Texas, Another Great Day Saving the Bees. Is that her? Or is there a
Yeah.
different? There's a different bee lady that's hit my algorithm recently too.
No,
Both
the
are
original.
women dedicated to rescuing hives of bees from where they should not be, as they were. So if you got a big beehive in your wall, the one or both of the bee ladies will come and very delicately remove the comb.
Does the second bee lady wear no beekeeping outfit? Because this woman goes in with a T-shirt.
The
and
original
jeans.
bee lady, she doesn't wear any beekeeping stuff. And I don't
crazy.
understand how that's possible, but I guess I understand that like a content hive is not necessarily going to attack you. The second bee lady, and I don't know who that person is. I've just seen her recently. There's, look, if you might be an internet sensation beehive remover 5 years ago and think you've got this whole niche locked up. But on the internet, you've always got another bee lady behind you coming up.
It is a lesson, a life
That's
lesson.
right. That's right.
All right.
You don't know. I might start a puzzle podcast. And then where will you be?
Nice.
See what I mean?
All right. Yeah, we are threatened.
We're going to do an end around on the state mottos. You just wait.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go in circles,
That's right.
chasing each other's tail down an
Yep.
incredibly niche hole of moderate listenership.
You call it a niche hole.
All right. I have
Okay.
one. I have one last one for you, John.
Can't
'cause We
wait.
got a lot to do. All right. Here it is.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
Oh, yes, Susan. I'm just looking at the signs because I'm using signs to practice learning words.
Oh, that's a good idea. How are you doing them?
Oh, fine. I'm going up and down Sesame Street and reading all the signs. One up on the corner on the lamppost says Sesame Street.
McDonald's jingle, Big Bird, Sesame Street, and then Big Ben. Well, there are two bigs. Big
Yeah,
Mac.
there are three bigs.
There we go.
There you
That's
go.
three bigs.
You got it. Well done. That was fun, but there's more. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to John about life and puzzles and other stuff. That's,
Is there other stuff
I was just
between life
thinking.
and puzzles?
I guess there's inanimate objects.
I can't wait.
Okay, come on back for that. Hello, puzzlers. Welcome back to the podcast. Now, Greg has a puzzle for our wonderful guest, John Hodgman. But before he gives that, we have a little segment called Puzzling Questions, where we get to know our guest a little better so he can be a little less of an enigma. Well, John, let me just start, since this is a puzzle podcast. I know from listening to your wonderful work, you have a love-hate relationship with the New York Times crossword puzzle, including a shocking tale of your streak and how it ended and then didn't end. So can you give us a quick summary
gosh.
of that?
I don't know if I can. I barely remember that story.
Well, can I tell it? And you can tell me if
so,
I
well,
got
I
it?
can tell you this. I have a love relationship with the New York Times crossword.
Okay.
I do love it. And I did get addicted to it the way so many did once they added the streak form. I mean, I've done it my whole life, but it's only once it was online that they were able to track how many days in a row you got it correctly without cheating within the application. And I wanted to hit a 365-day streak. And then my memory is, AJ, and you remember this better than I do, because it was a long time ago for me. I've moved on to connections.
I
tell you
listened
this.
to it yesterday, so it is, yes, very
Oh,
fresh.
okay. Yeah. So I wanted to, and then I missed a day and I was bereft bereft, I tell you. And then the next day I saw that the streak was held, that it was restored, I should say. I got that gold star after all. And me, being a pretentious only child from birth, I wanted that gold star.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's not that I didn't love the puzzle. What I didn't love was my obsession with approval from the puzzle. So I had to give that up.
Now, my memory
but
is...
what is your memory of the story?
My memory is very similar, but that I believe you tweeted, as it was called at the time, that you had broken your streak because you forgot to do the puzzle. It was a Monday puzzle. You would have done it easily.
I just
forgot to do it.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
And it went from wrong, the blue.
And the blue star meaning complete, but broken streak.
And then all of a sudden, after the tweet, it became gold, and you felt there was
I wonder if I had gotten some special treatment, like, when you lose your luggage and you call out the airline on Twitter.
Yes.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden it appears.
Yep. And you are a contributor to the New York Times, and you confess that might have played a part in it. You don't feel good about it.
As a potential only child from birth, as mentioned, I do love not only approval, but also special treatment. But in this case, I did have an existential crisis surrounding. I didn't like that. I believe that there was an explanation proffered somewhere, that it wasn't just me who was getting that restored, but there was some kind of last minute rescue for a lot of people that day.
General amnesty for everyone.
A general amnesty may have been the term I was looking for. Great, thank you. But you know what? It's a mystery lost to time, and I know now why exactly. Obviously, I pride myself on having an okay memory, particularly when it comes to my own stories, because I am a storyteller who is obsessed with myself, but I probably blanked it out because it was involved Twitter, which is something that I've really buried.
Yes, that was and
it is now dead and buried to me. Twitter doesn't exist anymore.
Agree.
Certainly not the way it was before, and not as a thing. So I kind of put that in the past.
Right.
Sorry to say.
That's the inanimate object we're talking about. It's dead.
That's right. It's the dead corpse of Twitter.
Well, I have one other question about puzzles, because you do, as part of your show, you give a little obscure cultural reference.
Sure. We begin each episode of Judge John Hodgman with me giving a usually quite obscure quote from a book or a movie or a play or a poem or something that might be relating to the dispute between the two real life litigants. And I give them the chance to guess what it was that I quoted. And if they guess, they immediately win the case without even hearing any evidence.
Which doesn't happen so often, because it is obscure.
It is usually when someone guesses correctly, I've got a backup, like, oh, really? Well, what was the number episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? That's the first thing that came to mind for whatever reason. But if you listen to a recent episode, a live episode from our San Francisco Sketchfest live show, the person got it completely right, and I had no way out of it. And it was truly embarrassing, because not only did it happen, but it happened on stage where we could not edit it out. It was
was this
really
the one
something.
About your own show? You made it with the Dicktown?
Nope. There have been a few that have gotten close, but no one nailed it the way this guy nailed it in a dispute with his wife about whether or not to keep the school project he had built with their now adult daughter, which school project was a full-size guillotine.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Working? Was it?
Well, you'll have to listen to the show to find out.
Okay. I
kept my head, but Judge John Hodgman, available at MaximumFun.org if you want to listen to that
delightful
episode.
show.
But yeah, no, I do the obscure cultural reference, and it's not that I got stumped. It's just like I wasn't able to stump someone else, and that was
understandable. But you also, if I remember correctly, you gave a bit of a quiz to President Barack Obama to establish his nerd credentials. Did you
Another
remember
thing
that
in the ancient past? Yes,
that was a while ago.
I was invited to provide the arguable comedy for the Radio and Television Correspondents Awards dinner in 2009. Well, that's probably before some of you were born.
That's a long time ago.
And that's sort of like the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is known in DC circles as Nerd Prom. This was Junior Nerd Prom. I don't think they do this dinner anymore, but it was sort of like the junior varsity version of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Then President Barack Obama was in attendance. Traditionally, the comedian, or in this case me, would give their remarks, and then the president would close the evening. But it had been the case that some of the comedians had said things in the past that the president then felt obligated to answer to, which was a little bit awkward. So it was decided that I would follow Barack Obama, that I would be forced to follow the most inspiring speaker of my lifetime, who, by the way, has jokes. And he is speechwriters, and he had, joke writers too. But that guy knows how to perform jokes really well. So it was really rough to follow the president of the United States. In this case, Barack Obama specifically. So yes, and this was 2009, so he had just been elected. And there were already swirling weird right-wing conspiracy theories like, is he actually a citizen? Where does he come from? Where did he really grow up? Is he who he says he is? And blah, blah, blah. And the other thing that was happening was that he was the first president in my lifetime, and perhaps ever, or presidential candidate before he was elected, to signify knowledge of nerd stuff. So he was somebody who, knew that Superman's father on Krypton was Kal-El.
Yeah.
Which is common knowledge among glasses-wearing weirdos like us. But for a president to make a joke about that, or he also made a reference in public to dilithium crystals, which is what powers the Star Trek Enterprise. Yep. But at the same time, he was effortlessly cool, of course, a pretty good athlete, terrible at bowling. But, was he a jock or was he a nerd? So I sort of took all of the anxiety that was floating about who is this relative newcomer to politics, and all of this weird right-wing fear-mongering about his actual origin and his authenticity, and run it through a lens of nerddom. So I gave Barack Obama a nerd quiz on stage.
It was hard. Wait, let me see if Greg knows this
frankly.
one.
Oh, great. You're putting me
was
next to Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well,
I'll take it.
This was, you asked about Dune, and this was before Dune was cool with Timothée Chalamet. He said, what is the name of the hallucinogenic vomit that the sandworm expunges in Dune?
Oh,
and I didn't write down the answer.
I read that book when it was a long time ago when I read that book.
Do you remember, John?
This.
I do. And again, it's too hard. That was not only too obscure in itself, but now that I think of it, it's a trick question.
Oh, why?
Well, what would your answer be?
I have no idea.
Vomit. I'd say vomit. I would go.
I would say.
I think most people with a basic conversational understanding of Dune would say it is the spice called melange.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that is secreted by the adult worm. The hallucinogenic vomit of the dying baby worm is called the water of life.
Oh,
okay.
That does ring a bell. I would imagine the question about Dune would be spice, which before the movie
that would have been maybe even at the time I thought that was the answer that I was looking for. I'll tell you what, I don't remember what Barack Obama said because it was mostly played for laughs.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I would have accepted both answers happily.
Okay. You were
And I was utterly rendered speechless when, without prompting, then President Barack Obama flashed me the "Live Long and Prosper" sign from
how great
from
that
Star Trek
impressive.
From Leonard Nimoy. So yeah, that was terrific.
John, I have to say, no matter how hard it was to follow Barack Obama on stage, if only you had been asked to follow him in the presidency.
I would have voted for you.
That's not how our electoral system works.
Such as it is.
Well, we have a lot more. We're going to have to wait for your next appearance to further explore many of these issues because we got to go. We got to take a little break, and then we've got another puzzle.
Terrific.
All right. Let's take a break with the great
Okay,
John.
Already. Let's take the break with John
All
Hodgman.
right. I am about to take the break here.
All right,
it
I'm
comes.
ready too.
Here
Greg,
it
you ready for
comes.
the break?
I don't know. Let me think about it.
2, 1, break. Hello, puzzlers. Welcome back to the Hello Puzzler podcast. We are here with the fantastic John Hodgman.
What a refreshing break.
and a refreshing break.
Thank
he
you.
just had a refreshing break.
Yeah.
And we're not done with him. We have one more puzzle to give him, and Chief Puzzle Officer Greg Pliska will be the one to give it.
I'm ready.
Let's go, CPO.
Let's do it, John. In your book, Areas of My Expertise, one of the areas of your expertise is the lobster.
That's true. That's true.
How do you know so much about the lobster?
Well, I live part of the time in the state of Maine.
Oh.
I'm from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I live in New York most of the time. But my wife, who's a whole human being in her own right, grew up going to Maine every summer. She has family up there. She loves Maine more than any other place or person on earth. As you can learn if you read in my other book, Vacation Land by John Hodgman, that's me. Vacation Land being the nickname for Maine that was given to it before Americans knew what a vacation really was. when vacation simply meant affluent people from Boston, D.C., and Philadelphia going north to a place because there was no air conditioning, going north to a mostly uncomfortable place where you would never, ever think about going on the beach because it's made of rocks as sharp as knives. You would never go swimming because the ocean there is cold and wants to kill you. And instead you would just sit in and quietly and overlook the abyss of Maine with a martini. That was what vacation was.
I wouldn't complain about that.
In the early 20th century when that was when that term was coined. And in any case, yes. So we spend some time in Maine. We love going there, and I've been informed by my wife that when she retires, we'll spend more time there until we eventually die there.
Okay. And the lobster part.
And they have lobsters
The
there.
lobster part. I mean, you go straight to your death if you want. But let's talk about
I
the lobster.
I usually think about that first, but Homarus americanus, yes, talk to me about the lobster.
Well, you lay out a lot of facts about the lobster. There was an actual furry lobster, apparently.
So in the areas of my expertise, which was my first book, that was a collection of what I called complete world knowledge and an assortment of it was a trivia book full of fascinating trivia, but the distinction was all of the historical and natural trivia that I was recounting in the book was all made up by me.
Yeah.
So instead of having a list of the U.S. presidents who died while in office, I had a list of the U.S. presidents who secretly had hooks for hands. And I wrote little stories about how no one ever knew that FDR had a hook for a hand because he was never photographed from the wrist up, or he's only ever photographed from the wrist up, which of course is a riff on the fact that he wasn't photographed from the waist down because he was in a wheelchair,
which is
a lot of
crazy.
the time, and they were hiding it from it.
They were so nice, the news back then.
They were nice at the time.
Yeah.
And I did have a whole history of the lobster, but the lobster in the areas of my expertise was not the lobster that you and I commonly know, the crustacean that you put in a pot and boil, but in fact, a furry mammal, which was called the lobster before the crustacean lobster was introduced. This was my idea of a joke at the time, and apparently it still works on you.
It's still funny. I still laugh every time I think
about it. The old
it.
Furry lobster no longer, it's gone extinct. It was hunted to extinction.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because I've assembled some other facts about the lobster.
The real lobster or the fake lobster?
That didn't make it into your book. Well, here's how these work. In these facts, the word lobster can be replaced with another word made up of some of the letters in lobster.
Okay. I think I got it.
So if, for example, if you had been born a few months later, you would be a lobster instead of a Gemini.
Oh,
I would be a Retz bowl.
No, you don't have to use all the letters. You can just use some of them.
A Trobsol.
Just pick 3 of them, maybe.
I don't know astrology. As a Gemini, I only know about Gemini.
You would be a Leo.
Okay. A Leo. Okay. I was about to get there.
You'll get there. So you don't have to use, I think there's one of these that uses all the letters, but in most cases, they use some number of the letters in the word lobster. Now, before you answer, if you would like, as our resident lobster expert, to opine upon the fact about the lobster I give you, you're welcome to also do that.
Oh, okay.
Let's get started, see how this works. So, for example, using a lobster to keep your pants on became popular in the 1920s when trouser waists moved lower.
It's either belt or bolt.
Yes, here you go.
I'm going to guess belt.
It is belt. But I like the idea of people using the lobster to keep their pants on.
Yes.
That would be more of a belt buckle than a belt, though.
Yeah, fair.
Right,
could add-
clamps on.
Yeah, you clamps on, clamps off the lobster.
Yeah. But I like you're saying the visuals of lobster in place of these is a nice thing to do.
I don't see
Visualize
why
it.
that shouldn't be an actual fact that goes into the areas of my expertise.
Gotcha.
Part
Okay.
2. That's all.
There is an areas of my expertise part 2. It's called More Information Than You Require.
Yes,
And there's a
exactly.
part 3 called That Is All. And then there's a
You're
book
right.
called Vacation Land, which is not fake facts, but all true stories from
All
me.
true.
But go on.
All right. You rarely see members of the Supreme Court without their lobsters.
Robes.
Yes, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. But also,
But I do wish they all had pet lobsters.
wouldn't that
That'd
be nice?
terrific.
The photo with
That
each
would
of
be
them?
nice.
John Roberts with it perched on his head.
No, one of the things is, we complain about the gerontocracy in the American political
Don't we?
and judicial system right now. And reasonable people can disagree about how late you can serve as a senator or a Supreme Court justice or a president in life. But lobsters do not experience senescence in real life. They do not age. They get bigger,
They're as smart when they begin as when they end.
which is, medium smart, I guess.
Fair,
But
fair.
the point is that they routinely live to be beyond 100. And they only die due to predation.
Whoa.
And then as they get older, they get more, I don't want to say lazy, but they're less active. And
Okay.
consequently, it's harder for them to molt. And occasionally what will happen if they die naturally, it is usually because they're unable to molt at the end and they get stuck in their own
On their own shells.
shells. But otherwise, absent predation, a lobster will live and live and live and live. It does not, otherwise the body does not break down.
So are you proposing that they be nominated to the Supreme Court because they don't decline cognitively?
No, I'm proposing that we make some adjustments to the Supreme Court
I see.
so that we don't get a bunch of deathless lobsters in there.
Yeah,
Or at
there we
least
go. Exactly.
I'm calling for the expansion of this court, not steaming of humans. But anyway, you see. what
I
I'm saying.
understand.
I see
Okay,
where
just
we're going.
wanted to clarify.
All right. How about this one? At the racetrack, patrons frequently place lobsters on their favorite horses.
Bets
Yes.
or saddles
Or saddles.
or lobsters. That's fun.
Right. Again, something worth seeing. You might not have known this, but placing a lobster under your legs while you sleep can reduce back pain.
A bolster.
Yes. Oh, you're good. That's the,
That's the one that uses all.
That's the one
That's
that
the
uses all.
pangram?
Yeah. That's
Excuse me, we're already under lawsuit from the New York Times, AJ. We don't need to be saying pangram.
they own all the words now.
Okay, good point. Good point.
All right. Notable lobsters include Nikola Tesla and Novak Djokovic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Djokovic is a tennis player, right?
Yeah, very good.
So this has to do with where they're from.
Yes, good.
And I'm
good,
now
well
blanking
sleuthed.
on where either Tesla or
It's
So
a
is it-
Balkan country. It's
Lobster.
four letters from the
What
word
does it start
lobster.
with? What's the first
Starts
letter?
with an S.
An S.
Come on, I got bolster. Give me this one.
You can have this one. Well, they're not Croatian. They're not Macedonian. They are Serbs.
Serbs.
There you go.
Serbs.
Notable Serbs.
There it is.
It was at Serb that I could not guess that
Yeah,
one.
so
It was right there.
Well done. How about this? The Greeks used lobster to represent passionate love, while Freud considered lobster the will to live in contrast to libido, the sex drive.
A cigar.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
No.
Who knew lobster had a
I was
C?
doing so well.
What god represents passionate
Eros.
love? There you
Eros.
go.
Oh, okay.
For dessert, people often enjoy ice cream, gelato, or fruit-flavored lobster.
Fruit flavored. Oh, come on.
Oh, wait, is this?
It's a
Ice cream, gelato,
Gelato.
sherbet.
yeah, similar to
milk.
that.
It's sort of the
sorbet.
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 Yes, fruit-flavored lobster sorbet.
Which can be pronounced sorbet. We had a long episode about that for the completists. Go back.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Much like fillet is pronounced fillet in in Britain.
In Britain.
Right.
Yeah.
And my grandmother said, Buffett. Let's go to the Buffett.
Oh, because she was a parrot head. She loved Jimmy
Yeah,
Buffett.
She
exactly.
loved Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's true.
There is ice cream that has lobster in it that is
No.
served.
Interesting.
Yes. As a tourist treat.
Is this
in
a
Bar
Maine
Harbor.
thing? This is a Maine thing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. Well, in Maine, everything has lobster in it, if you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's disgusting.
At the beginning of the 20th century, the British fought the Lobster War in South Africa.
The Boer War.
The Boer War, yes, exactly, exactly. Not the Lobster War at all. All right, your last one has 3 different lobsters in it. You guys might want to work together on this, but maybe not. Maybe we got it.
3 different lobsters. AJ, shall we work together?
Yeah.
Examples of big box lobsters include Lobster By and Big Lobster.
These are 2 examples of big box stores.
Yeah.
Lobster. I'm thinking.
Lobster By, I know that one.
Okay.
You do? All right, say it. I'm not going to stop you. I feel
Best Buy.
Best
Yeah.
Buy.
And the other
Okay.
one, it's lesser known in the Northeast, I think. It's Big Blank. This word also could follow job blank, or odd blank in the
Job follows odd jobs.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
what odd job.
Odd fellows.
There's
It's
also a thing you draw.
fraternal order
We're
from
going to
the
say, decide who gets to answer this. We'll draw a blank.
straws.
Or another word.
Lobsters.
Lots?
Lots. Yes, big lots.
Big
It's a
Lots.
store.
I'm
I've
not
never
familiar
been
with
to
that
Big
one.
Lots. I've never heard of Big Lots.
Where is Big Lots? Greg, where are you from?
I'm from California and I live in the Northeast, but I researched this on the internet.
It's always telling you the truth, that internet. So
Yeah.
I'll take it with.
Big discount retail chain headquartered in Columbus, Ohio.
All right.
All right.
It's Big Lots with an exclamation point. Big Lots.
Big Lots.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well done, John. John, you are still our lobster expert.
Thank you. I'm trying to think of another interesting thing about the lobster.
I have one that I think is true, that originally back in colonial times, weren't they considered for the lower classes, and then somehow they became fancy food.
This is something that is sort of rooted in a truth, though. The stories about lobsters, there had to be a law in Maine, or probably at the time Massachusetts, because Maine was part of Massachusetts until 1820. But the story was that there had to be a law passed to limit the amount of times you could feed your servants lobster.
Okay.
Because it was considered
torture.
so prevalent that it was considered trash food, and it was served to prisoners as well. That is the story. I don't know the source of it, but it is the case that lobster became a luxury food with the advent of refrigerated train cars. Because otherwise you couldn't get them anywhere else. So it became an exotic luxury to have.
Now,
and
is
you
that
were
the
paying
same
for the
with,
transport as much for the lobster.
like, was caviar also that was?
I don't
junk
even
food?
know what caviar is.
Okay, well,
So I don't
we'll
know.
talk about that next time. John, it was a delight to have you.
What a delight as always. Greg and AJ, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
Oh,
John.
it is
Hey,
our pleasure.
speaking of lobsters, can I plug something?
No,
Well,
I
I
was
was
about
about
to
to-
ask you to plug something.
Yes.
So please.
So in Maine, there are boats. And one of these boats is called the Grace Bailey. And it's a 100-year-old wooden sailing schooner called a windjammer. It is one of a fleet of 8 or 9 windjammers that have been retrofitted for passenger travel. This particular windjammer, the Grace Bailey, is owned in part by our friend Mark Evan Jackson, the very famous comedian and comedic actor from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place. Mark is an old sailor from way back, and I've traveled on the Grace Bailey before. I'm very excited this June. I'm going to be on the Grace Bailey as a host, dispensing maritime law aboard the deck of the Grace Bailey as we cruise silently, sailing through the Penobscot Bay. That's June 14 through the 18. Very, very limited number of berths on the Grace Bailey. So this may be sold out by the time you hear about it. If it is, fear not. Judge John Hodgman, which is a podcast including me and my bailiff Jesse Thorne, co-creator of the podcast, we will be doing other live shows and dispensing justice on land as well, in person. And you can get tickets for that at MaximumFun.org/events. The Grace Bailey, of course, is sailgracebailey.com.
Love it. And I thought there were no laws out at sea, 3 miles out or something.
I'm going to be bringing justice to the seas at last.
I see, at last. Thank you for that important service. Well, John, we loved it. And you can see this will be on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, check out our YouTube channel, which is growing. It's a little guy, but we're getting there. And we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/HelloPuzzlers. So we'll have more John Hodgman. We'll include not all of the other lobster facts, but we'll sprinkle some in. And of course, we'll be back on this podcast with more puzzling puzzles that will puzzle you puzzlingly.